Hey guys, so I know it's been a very long time since I put out a video, and I've been really busy, as I stated before, with getting my own little company up and running. Right now though, I'm just in the backyard working on my pond, some long overdue work, but that's not what today's video is about. I am going to be showing you guys how to blanch vegetables and feed them to your fish, your invertebrates, pretty much everything likes vegetables. So I'm going to show you how I do it, how to soften them up and get them so that everything will eat them and not make a mess. And yeah, so let's go ahead and head down to the grocery store and pick some stuff up. Alright, so here I am at my local grocery store, and which happens to be Whole Foods, and this little salad department actually helps me out when I'm not trying to make a huge amount of vegetables, but just something to supplement my fish tanks, because you can get pre-sliced little bits for salad. I usually go for the peas and sliced cucumbers, but you can also go with broccoli, pretty much most things here actually, carrots, and sometimes they'll have peppers and stuff like that, but I usually stick to cucumbers and peas because those are just the two easiest, and pretty much everything likes to eat those. And if I'm not trying to get a bunch, if I'm just trying to feed 1 or 2 tanks, I'll even just fill up one of these little cups, and that'll just be a single serving, which is perfect for like a shrimp tank, or if you have like young plecos or something like that that you're just trying to feed a little bit to. Alright, so I know the footage you just saw was actually one of the last times I went down and got stuff. This time I'm actually just going to be doing cucumber. I wanted to show that other footage just to show how you can get stuff cheaper, and also just all kinds of stuff. There's many different things that over time you'll learn what your animals like the most. But cucumbers, zucchinis are two of the main things, especially for plecos, which are going to be one of the biggest vegetable eaters. They absolutely love this stuff. But you will notice plecos will not normally eat the rind. So I usually like to skin them first. So, and yeah, if you only got the already pre-sliced stuff like I showed, it's a little harder to skin it, but you know, it's still doable. Alright, so now that I've got it skinned, gonna, cut it. I like to cut kind of thicker pieces, not paper thin, but also I like to cut them into pieces like this so that after I've blanched them, I can also cut into smaller pieces for shrimp tanks and stuff like that. So go ahead and cut these up, and then next I'll show you one of the most important parts, at least in my opinion, which is blanching it, which actually softens it up so that the fish and shrimp and everything can eat it easier. So they're not chewing on it for hours. They can just get right through it and not make a mess, not leave behind as much junk, and help save your water quality. All right, so now got it all cut up. I will turn the water on. Get some regular tap water in there. Turn the tap. Head over and pop this bad boy in the microwave. I mean, you can boil it, but that's extra effort. I'm lazy. And the microwave works just fine. A lot of times I'll start off with like, 3, 2, 1. Let's go with that to start it off. Everybody's microwave is different powered. Some will cook it faster, some slower. And look over here, got my jellyfish hanging out. Got a few of them in there, but it's a little messy. I still gotta clean that out again. So yeah, we'll see you in a second when this is done. All right, so here we go. Can be a little hot. Let's check if it's ready. So the water is gonna be definitely hot. Recommend using like a fork or something. Kind of being dumb here. But what you want is for them to be a little soft. I don't think these are quite ready. In the warmer water, they'll still float a lot of times. But if you blanch it to a good degree, once it's in colder water and it's cooled down, they'll actually sink a lot easier. So you don't need to You'll see a lot of people's videos when they're feeding this kind of food, vegetables and stuff, they'll have to put big skewers through and weight them down. But if you blanch them, not only does it make it softer for them to eat easier, but also you don't have to have a big metal fork or whatever weighing it down. These pieces will sink on their own. It helps the water really soak in and I guess weight it down. So these aren't quite ready yet. They're a little softer, but not too soft. And also you do not want to fully boil them. You don't want it really, really soft. You just want it lightly softer so that it takes on more water and is easier for the fish to chew up and take down. So I'm gonna pop it in, I don't know, maybe another minute at most. But like I said, everybody's microwaves are different. All right, so now after you got it back out, I'm using a fork now because it is really hot. You'll notice these, when you knock them down, they don't exactly float up like they used to. They kind of stay a little down, so that's usually when you know you're in about the right place. So next you're gonna strain this out and let them cool down. So now just kind of strain it out. And I'll usually just have a paper towel or a dish or something to drop them on, let them cool down, and then take them upstairs or wherever your fish room is and start getting them ready to feed. You'll see, you know, they're squishy, almost kind of like jelly, but they're not fully boiled. They're not gonna be falling apart in the water. You definitely don't wanna go that far. You're just helping your fish to be able to eat them easier. All right, so I'm upstairs in my fish room. It's a bit of a mess right now. It's actually a huge mess, but, and normally I would prepare more food than this, but this is just showing you guys. On a tank like this, where it's kind of hard to see, but I do have some large plecos hiding in there somewhere. There's a giant autocinklus hanging upside down on there. Got a couple mystery snails in there, or apple snails. So I will just, you know, drop slices in. Some of these fish will peck at them, but mostly for this tank, I will feed stuff like this just for these guys. For these guys, if I had prepared the peas, they love eating the peas, so I probably should have picked some up. I'll pick some up later today. But keep in mind with the peas, after you blanch them, make sure that you pop them out of the shells. The shells, they will not eat, and it's just a waste, and it can actually cause problems with the fish. So make sure you remove the shell outside after you blanch them. As for other tanks, like this one, I'll be feeding full slices in as well. Maybe down here as well. But over here, where I have invertebrates, let's see, there's some CPO crayfish, and there's a green jade. I've got a bunch of green jades in this tank, and in here there's all kinds of different shrimp, a bunch of different tiger shrimp, and mixes of all kinds. I just put tons of different shrimp in there and let them crossbreed. But in there, I'll show you what I normally do. And so now I went ahead and cut some of these up with scissors or a knife, and you know, just go ahead and toss the little pieces in. And it'll take a little bit, but you know, they'll find them. And in tanks like this one that have tons of scuds in here, I'm sure I mentioned it in my scud cultivation and harvesting video, but scuds, like also in this tank, when you drop in cucumber, they will swarm it, and you'll have tons of them, like completely covering it. And that's a good way for harvesting scuds. Just get like a big tube and siphon them out. Just suck them all off of the, see, you can see scuds kind of swimming around, circling. But when they're completely covering the pieces, just siphon them straight off of it, and that's a great way to siphon them out without disturbing your aquascape at all. One more thing I wanted to point out is, as I was saying, once you blanch these, they do sink just like that. And you don't need to have, these aspidoras, I haven't quite found it yet. And I really need to wipe down this glass. I haven't cleaned this tank in a little while. But yeah, it'll sink right down, so you don't need to have annoying metal pieces in there that you have to fetch out later. Green jade, you can see the scud starting to crawl towards it. Higher up here, got some more green jades moving in. So here's one of the CPO crayfish. Like I mentioned, when it's much softer, they can just tear pieces off and really get in there and enjoy it. He seems to be having a great time. Yep, just munching away. Here's one of my plecos just munching away. And for, you know, younger fish, you can really mash up the peas. And let's get in here. Go nuts for it. And again, just great for their digestive system. And even the little baby's eating it. And as you can see, the turtles love it too. Look at them getting that pepper. They love veggies, they love fruits, all kinds of stuff. Uh-oh. Do we got a tug of war going? Whoop. Here he goes. Oh, keep away. Here we go. Let's see how you guys like it. Hey, so I hope you guys enjoyed that and actually learned something. I also hope that it has inspired you to diversify the foods that you feed your fish, invertebrates, turtles, and whatnot. If you did learn something, I hope you like and subscribe. Please comment. Let me know down below if there's anything you'd like to see or if there's anything I could be doing better. I know I said in the past that I would be making more videos, and I kind of didn't quite follow through with that, but I definitely will now because I've officially become a YouTube partner, so I have a little incentive to continue making videos, and I've got tons of footage that I just need to edit together. So look forward to that, and I will see you in the next one.